Yep. That's all.
Thank you. I will repeat very quickly what I said so you guys don't have to listen to it again. Sorry about the recording not starting because that's my bad. But so there's two types of marketing, right? There's traditional marketing, and then there's network marketing, free marketing, social media kind of things. So most of the time I focus on free marketing because you have a huge network, whether you realize it or not, that is just sitting right there available to you. And B, it keeps the investment cost in your business way down so that you see more of the actual profits. Whereas, like, again, if we compare this to a traditional business, if you had a standalone boutique out here in town, you would have a marketing budget, and that would come out of your profits every single month. Like, if you understand business, there's profits and there's expenses and there's, income and all of that. And so my goal for our team is to help keep your profits as high as possible without you feeling like you need to invest. Because I think, when I talk to people about the coaching opportunity, and maybe they've done, and I think I had a conversation with, I think of a conversation I had with a girl, this is probably 2 years ago. And she did some other network marketing thing, but she had to buy a lot of inventory. And I'm talking like thousands of dollars of inventory. And then she had to go out and sell that inventory. When I worked with Tupperware, you had to sell a certain amount, and it was encouraged to keep inventory so that when you did an at-home party and Kristen ordered a bowl from me, I could say, here you go, Kristen. And she's like, ooh, I like that one too that you have right there. So then I can just be like, oh, absolutely. Let me write you a little invoice. And she paid, right? Like, business isn't the same anymore. And I believe that that type of business model lends itself in a lot of bitterness. And that is where I feel like MLMs, network marketing, that kind of thing traditionally gets a bad rap, because then, life happens, you decide you don't want to do this anymore. Now you're stuck with thousands of dollars worth of stuff that you don't want to sell. You don't want to have parties, and now it's clogging up your, garage, right? And then you're like, well, I hate, name whatever company it is. They, and then your spouse gets mad because you got a bunch of crap in the, it just lends itself to a really bad taste. So this, obviously, you guys know that this business is not like that. We don't operate with a lot of overhead, which is good. I feel like that sets us apart. We don't have to track inventory. We don't have to do anything like that. So like I said, the marketing piece of this is you're either going to pay for marketing or you're going to do it for free. And so there are investments that I have made personally, because I am a firm believer in 10% of my incoming money should be returned into my business for marketing. So that means if I'm using an app and I like the app, and sometimes I pay for apps, sometimes I don't find it worthy, and so I just use the free one. I'm going to show you guys some things tonight. But those are the kind of things, like, number one, they are write-offs for your business. So if you keep track of them, they can be a write-off for your business every year, because again, they are a marketing tool that you are using. So the videos do help, but again, they're not required for, I would say the first 3 years of my business, I took a sweaty selfie every morning and was like, and I'd write a quick little post. It did not have to be videos and montages and adding music to them. And like, it wasn't like that. And everyone also does this differently. And so I feel like you need to, part of the fun of this business, but also I think the frustration for a lot of people is, or at least maybe the people I on board, because they're a lot like me, is they just want to have themselves figured out. They're like, oh yeah, well, I just want to know exactly how to do it so that I can plug and play. And this will just definitely show me exactly who I am, what my brand is, and how I'm going to do it. And that's not how this works. You play, you find out, you do something and it fails, and you do something else. So in order to, I feel like a lot of you know this, but I'm just going to go over it, especially because I know there were a couple of people that couldn't hop on because of just whatever's going on in life. So they're going to watch the recording. But if you are wanting to film yourself doing a workout, I would encourage you to grab a tripod. You can get a cheap one at like CVS. You don't have to have a big light ring. I use a light ring because I get up super early in the morning most of the time, and it's dark when I start working out, and it's dark in my room. And so I just flip my light ring on, and it has a like stand for my phone that it clips into, and then, you know, so it's lit around the phone. And that's really helpful for me. And then I set it to time lapse most mornings because I'm lazy and I don't want to do a bunch of video editing. Time lapse is where it looks like it's going really fast. Also, if you're insecure on camera and you're like, oh my God, I don't want people to see me like flapping around and whatever, time lapse makes everybody look good. So time lapse, and then I swipe over once and it's that like pretty sunsetty looking filter. I feel like that makes everything look good. So that's the easiest way to film yourself. You can push the button one time. It takes a 45-minute and chunks it down into 21 seconds. Like it just really goes super quick. I also use time lapse when I don't know, if I'm showing stuff in the kitchen, like any of those like super rapid videos that you guys see on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, most of those are shot in time lapse. There's another way you can film, like, I don't know what you'd call that, like real time. And then you can cut it up and whatever. And I'm going to show you guys that. So let me get the reflector tool. I'm going to share my screen first. Hold on. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of apps that I use. And again, I use these not just for workouts, but when I'm showing a recipe or when I'm, you know, doing whatever, and I want to speed it up or chunk it down or whatever it is that I want to see. So hopefully just a second and I'll get this app going to screen to mirror the thing. And you guys feel free to like take yourself off mute and interrupt me if I do something and you don't understand it and you don't, you know, you want me to show something else or whatever. Look at my sweet boy. I have like a little thing. You can have all kinds of stuff up there. I got a cute picture of the day and that makes me happy. Kristen, Linda, Michelle, can you guys see my phone on your thing? Okay, yay. So like I said, you can just film with your camera straight in video. And so that takes real-time video. If you swipe, there's the time lapse, so you can see it. I'm pointing at the computer like you can see it. So there's time lapse. And that's how you would film for that. And then, so videos, and I'll just show you. Oh my gosh, this has got a lag, so I'm sorry that it's, so that's from this morning. This morning, I left the camera in the stand and I like before each move that I wanted to film, I went and pressed start and then I'd walk back and do whatever I wanted to do. And then I would press start again, or I'd press stop at the end of the move. So this is me doing whatever the heck these things are called and hating my life during them. So the video itself was, let's see, 1 minute and 38 seconds. Look, there's my fun face. So you can drag this little arrow right here to where you want the video to start and where you want the video to end. And then you can click done and you can save it as a new clip. And that means it will save the original clip of 1 minute and 38 seconds and a separate clip of however long this segment is. Or you can save over the original video with the new short clip. So whatever you want to do, doesn't really matter. I prefer, if I can, just to save over it. That way I'm not like, okay, which one was that I wanted to use, that kind of thing. So that's how to do that. The other thing that you can do, which I don't know if people know this or not, but you can also straighten your video because like sometimes your camera thing, your angle is off. So that's the straighten tool. You click crop and then you can straighten the video. And then you can also, like if I just wanted it to be my horrible face right there, I could crop it in and just do my face, or I can pull it out wide and have, like if I didn't want these, the weights, say I don't want to show the weights for whatever reason, I can do it like that. You can also change the coloring of it within Apple. So this again is an Apple phone. If you have an Android, I'm sorry about your life. And then you can also do different things with light balance. I don't do anything to my photos in this app. I always use a different app. So a couple of apps that I use for video, and then I'll show you guys a couple of other things that I get a lot of questions about normally, and then I will or you guys can just unmute yourselves and ask questions. If there is a video and I want, for example, when I made the reel yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, where I redid the pumpkin pie spice, right? And so it starts out with me showing the video, kind of a picture of an empty pumpkin spice container. And then, at the end, there's one of the full one. But the middle one, I did not shoot in time lapse. I just, videoed the entire thing because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So there's an app called Video Speed, and there's a paid version and there's a free version. Guess what I do? The free one, because I really am not paying $15 a year for this, because I don't use it that often. Oh my gosh, but you do have to watch ads. So there's that, right? So once you're done watching all the ads, you go to all videos. And so say I want to, this is a cute little video. Hopefully it'll load for us here. And I can select that video and I can trim it in this if I want, or I can click skip. And this app allows me to speed up different parts of the video. So say I want to slow something way down, or I want to speed that part way up. So now you can see how it's fast, and then it's going to get faster, and then it gets slower. So that's another way that you can kind of manipulate the speed of a video for whatever purpose you would want. I'm not going to say that. So anyways, that's one that I use very often. And then two of the ones that I use frequently for videos. This is a paid one. And if you have a GoPro, it's kind of worth investing in my opinion. It used to be free. This app is no longer free. So this one is kind of cool because you can, let's see here. They also changed the whole app when they made it not free, and now it's confusing to me. Okay. So let's go back to that same video. This is the, 1 minute video of the kids eating the donuts. And I can, let's see here. I can make a little video. Sorry, there's music here. It puts music over it. And then you can click the edit button and highlights. And so I can click a couple highlights in here. And then let's get that cutie right there. Click OK. This video makes me laugh. And then I can hit trim, hit highlights only. And now you can watch a cute little video that's montaged up of them eating the donut. And it'll cut frames back and forth to whatever. See how it cuts frames. So anyways, you can use that one as well. And then the other one that I pay for, yes.
What's that one called?
GoPro Quick, Q-U-I-K.
Cool, thank you.
Of course. And the other one that I use pretty frequently is this Tezza, T-E-Z-Z-A. And this one has templates that I like, but it also allows it, if you like stop motion kind of stuff, I think, let me see if I was playing with it one day. Let's see if it'll show me that one. Try this one. You get a stop motion where it click, click, clicks. You can change the colors of the video. And this one also with the templates, you can kind of play with different pretty things. If you like that aesthetic, you can put your videos in that or your photos in that, kind of makes them, I don't know, pretty and whatever. But this one does, there is a cost related to this one. I don't remember what it is, but I liked that one a lot too. So those are what I use most often for videos. And then lastly, the one I wanted to show you guys, because I get the most questions about this, is how do I do an effective side-by-side photo? And so I feel like every single technology training I ever do, I reinforce this because I see it all the time, all the time. And it drives me crazy. I see it from people on our team, and I see it from people not on our team. I see it from all different stuff. So if you're trying to do a before and after, it works really well for you to use an app called Photofy or Photofy. I don't know what you call it. Photofy. It is a free app. I don't pay for this one. I'm sure they have a paid version. Everything is a paid version, but it puts photos together. And so let's do before and after. So you just pick whichever ones you want. And then that's how you get them in one frame side by side. So say, for example, that this one on the left is actually the after. Please, for the love of all that is holy, put your after photo on the right-hand side of the image. On the left side is the before, and the right side is the after. I see it all the time. People put their after photo on the left. Guys, we're Americans and we read left to right. So please put your before photos on the left and your after photos on the right. I cannot emphasize that more. And let me say this, if it's top and bottom, we live in America and we read top to bottom. So the before should go on the top, the after should go on the bottom. If you don't do that, people get very, very, very confused. And even if they don't say they're confused, their brain is confused. It's a design fundamentals thing. It would be like you reading something and going, hold on. I remember Davin read these Pokemon books one time. And I'm like, hold on. I feel like every page is wrong. Like, what is happening? That's because in Japan, they like go back to front in books, not front to back. And I was like, what is wrong with this? But I sure as heck read like 4 pages of that book trying to figure it out. So don't confuse people. Put the before on the left, put the after on the right. It's not cute and funny to do it the other way. It looks ignorant, honestly. So let's see, what else do you guys want to see? What questions? Let me check the chat.
Well, I was gonna say I have noticed a few people on our team, they're making like their Instagram stories.
Okay.
And each 15-second clip, they're getting cut off and restarting another 15-second clip. I don't think some people know that there's an option on the side to I forgot what it's called.
Here, I'll show it to you.
Where you can record a whole minute before it cuts you off.
Well, number one, you can always hold the button down. Always. You can keep talking. If you're holding the button, I don't know why I'm trying to show you guys this. Like I can literally hold the button like this, and we can record for a solid minute of whatever it is. You just keep holding the button, keep holding the button. It will shoot 4 Instagram story frames in one. This is a very long 15 seconds. I'm sorry. Once you guys, there's a lag. And so it'll pick up in a second for y'all, but it will do it 4 times. The other thing that you're able to do here, and Linda, yeah, I actually can show you exactly how that is. And it's not too advanced at all. It's fun. So you can see how now, I really don't know how to point at this, but right here, there's another frame loading. That's because it's continuing to go. So you can always do it that way. Or once it catches up, you see how now there's 2 frames at the bottom? You can always do it that way as well. So the other thing, sorry, I feel like I talk faster than this thing is loading. I will slow down. but it's not going to slow down. It's just on a lag. So it'll catch up. The other thing is over here on the left on your Instagram stories, if you click that arrow looking button, there's one called hands free. You can click hands free and you can hold it and it will give you a 3-second delay. So it'll count down 1, 2, 3, and then it will start. So you can like set it, hold it down till it starts a little timer, back away, do whatever you need to do, get in position you want to get in. And then you can do that, or you can just click it and you don't have to touch the button again. And it will just keep going until you unclick, but it only does it for 4 Instagram photo frames, which is 1 minute. So that should answer that question. And Linda, let's do, sorry, this thing is on super lag, you guys. I don't know. I'm sure it's just the internet speed. But if you go to, okay. So if you go to Reels, and this is what Jamie did. So we'll actually use Jamie's, let me find Jamie here. So she did this cute little reel. Oh, where is it? Here. It was actually a couple days ago, I think. This one. Oh my gosh, you guys, you cannot see it. I'm sorry. It's driving me crazy. Okay. It's like a punching one, and it's really, like I said, the lag is kind of driving me a little crazy. So anyways, what you would do whenever my computer decides to get a move on here, you can, and I might, well, I don't want to unshare it. Actually, yeah, let me unshare. I'm going to stop mirroring for a second and re-mirror. And so, yes, Amy said you like Unfold for several videos at once. That's a great app. There's tons and tons of apps. I'm just showing you guys the ones I have. Mojo is also really good. I've used Mojo and I've used Unfold for whatever reason. Right now, I'm just into, it's going to work. Why did it not work? Hold on. Sorry. I'm just really into the Teza one. I like their, whatever you call them. There we go. Okay. Mirror. Is it up? Okay, here we go. So this is Jamie's cute little reel. You can see here. So the girl on one side is, oh, why did it do that? You can see her kind of punching. Cute little punching. So what you do is you click, hold on, let me make sure I can do it. Where's the oh, she doesn't have it where you can remix it. Sorry, that's unhelpful. So we can do it on any other one. So you would have to find the original. Let's see, this girl looks like, maybe you want to remix this one, right? So you click the 3 little dots and there's a thing that says remix this reel. And so you can see right there, it says remix this reel. And then now it's up side by side. So then I would just flip the camera and it would be like, I don't know which that thing is saying, but then you would record side by side. It's called a remix. So if you wanted to literally do the one that, if you literally wanted to do the one that Jamie did, you would just go find that original one and then you would remix that original one. But you can remix, I mean, I won't say any of them because it's a setting on Instagram where like if you do a reel, you can select whether or not you want it to be allowed to be remixed or not. I just always leave mine on because if somebody wants to remix it, you can remix it. Michelle said use photo grid to make side by side. That's great. There's lots of them. I mean, again, I feel like if you just app searched, you know, collage, photo collage apps, you'd find 100 of them. What other questions do you guys have for technology stuff? Again, it doesn't have to be apps. It doesn't have to be photos. I just usually get a lot of questions on those 2 things. Kristen, you asked what's the name of the app I use for side by side. It's called Photify. or photography, PHOTOFY. So photography. I don't know what to call it. What else, you guys? No questions at all. You guys know everything about running a business from your phone. I think of other like super common questions. An app that I use for photo editing a lot is called Snapseed, Snapseed. It's got good filters on it. I like that one. And then a lot, I used to use Lightroom. I feel like Lightroom, it's an Adobe one. Lightroom, I feel like you got to have a little tech savvy to do. I like it, but I like Snapseed better. Like, it's just easy. I don't know. I like a good, anything that makes my life easier. I'm all about it. What else? Which do I like better, Snapseed or Lightroom? Snapseed, because it's easy. I mean, I probably like the, what do I want to say, like the variety of Lightroom, but I feel like you got to be a little tech savvy to really get out of Lightroom what all it can do. Yeah, I don't think it's very user friendly, Kristen said, and I totally agree.
I used to do a little bit of photography, so I used Lightroom on my computer. So I use Lightroom on my phone, but that's because I've used it a lot, and that to me is easy because I figured it out. And I do like the variety of like how much you can change.
Yes. I mean, you're looking at, I mean, and yes, Lightroom is what professional photographers use. So there's like baby Lightroom where you're just like using presets and, you know, maybe making a little lighting adjustment and cropping a photo. And then there's like Lightroom, and that app has all of it, right? Like all housed within that one app. So yes, you can use it very minimally or you can use it a lot. I think it's because, and it's funny because my background is in graphic design, and I think I would like Lightroom on the computer, but I don't like it on my phone. Whereas, like, I don't know, when you use it all the time, I think it does get easier. And you just like, I watch Jacqueline. That's what she uses Lightroom, and I mean, she knows exactly what she does. She does it very quickly. It doesn't take her, but like, you know, 30 seconds. I feel like her speed with Lightroom is my speed with Snapseed. So, I mean, it just, and again, I like Snapseed. I'll show you guys if you want to see, can do that really quick. Let me screen share real quick before I turn it on. I'm just going to keep turning it off though, because otherwise I feel like it's super distracting to me to have the screen mirroring on. 4283. Okay. Decides to load. Okay, so Snapseed is right here. And so you just tap to open a photo. So like say I want to make this one look different. It has all of the little edits down here. This is their like preset ones. And I always use pop. And then I also like to use, if you go into the tools section, there's one called drama. And I love Bright One. So for whatever reason, this is my jam. I like, and I think this photo probably already had pop on it, but you can make it really bright. You can make it really dramatic. I mean, you can really play along with it. And the other thing that this one works really, really well for is healing. So for example, like, and this is not just coach related, but this is related to my sister sent me a photo of her son for Christmas. She wanted to use it for her Christmas card. And it was like photos with Santa, but there was bird poop on the bench that Santa was sitting on. Like, I mean, it wasn't like they weren't touching the bird poop, but the bird poop was really obvious. And I'm like, ew, Jessica, like, and I totally get it. She was like, I don't want that on my, here, let me revert this back so it doesn't have all the that's weird. Sorry, hold on. So anyways, when you go back to tools, I don't know why it's doing this. It's kind of stuck on the, hold on. Yeah, we'll reopen it. The thing got crazy. So for example, if we had this photo and you're like, Danielle, I don't want this, oops. Danielle, I don't want this island in my photo. So we can remove, this is how I removed the bird poop from Jessica's thing. How about island? No more island. See, the island is now gone. I wouldn't want to remove the island, but you can. So if there's like bird poop in your photo and you don't want bird poop in your photo, it's tools, healing, and then you need to zoom in really, really, really close. And then you can boop. And then I usually try to like blur it just a little bit so it doesn't look like I just wiped it out completely. But again, kind of a nice little tippy tip. What else can I show you guys before I stop mirroring?
You know that one
Okay,
scene?
stop. Let's see if there's any other chats. You guys all know how to navigate back office stuff and find what you need to find in the back office. Use the share cart. I feel like that's pretty easy. Do you know how to search groups? Do you know how to, I'm trying to like jog memories. I was talking to Amanda Harold on our call this morning, and she was like, I don't have any questions. And then we started talking. She's like, oh yeah, I do. Oh, and this. Oh, and this. And now I wish I could remember what they were. Okay, this is kind of a neat, again, this is maybe specific for Apple users, but, and maybe you guys already knew this, but I did not know this. Once this thing starts mirroring again. Show it one more time. Okay. If you go into photos and say you're like, oh my goodness, I took a photo and I don't remember what it was or when it was, do you know that you can take your two fingers like this or like this and pinch and see lots of photos instead of scrolling up in the small thing? And you're like, oh, I know the photo was at the beach. And oh, those are photos from Summit. And so it was obviously before that. So that way you can kind of, you know, scroll faster. You can even make it smaller if you want. So I don't know if that's helpful for you guys. It was like mind blowing for me. The other thing that's really mind blowing is that you can search photos this way. If you click the little search tool at the bottom. So I could search for cup. And here are all of my photos that feature a cup. So if I wanted to have, if I was like, oh, I know I want to show it. Kristen, your face looks so mind blown. Did you know this? Okay. No. Oh, good. Yay. Look, you learned something tonight. So if I'm like, oh, I don't want to take a new picture of my, you know, I don't know, whatever, my shake, I can go and I can, you know, find a good photo of my shake. Like, who knows? But this is all the photos of things that Apple thinks look like a cup. So it's kind of fun. And then you can also search by person, you know, people that frequent your photos. So if I'm looking for a photo of Matt, I can click his face and it has, you know, obviously facial recognition. And now there are photos of Matt. He's an unnamed person, bless his heart. So that's kind of a fun thing. And then you can also search by place. So if you're like, I know I was in Kansas City when I took that photo, you can scroll down to place, click on Kansas City, and it will pull up all your photos from Kansas City, unless you have geotagged cut off. So that's kind of fun. I think if there's any other. any other apps I use frequently. Repost is a good one if you like, if you want to share, like, let me show you on my Instagram here. Let me find one that's a repost. So like this one right here, this lemon tart. I used repost for this thing. This is not my photo. I didn't take this. It's tagged functional foods right here. So you can see, I didn't take that. So I went to functional foods and I like his account anyway. So like, say I wanted to talk about acid reflux the next day. So I go and I click these two little, or the three little buttons at the top, and I click copy link. And then I go to repost, and it automatically takes what's on my clipboard and pulls it in there. So I can click on it. I can click original caption. So like, say I want to use exactly what he said. I hold it. It says select caption. If I want to copy his hashtags, if I want to put a watermark on it to, show that it came from him, I can make it light, I can make it dark, whatever. And save that. And then I can click repost, and I can repost it to my feed, and it pulls up Instagram. And I can click feed, and it puts it there, and then I paste right here, and that's his entire thing. And at the very top, it'll say repost from functional foods. Well, I don't really like when it says repost. So most of the time I would say, thank you so much, functional foods, for this amazing graphic. Woo. And then, I have his stuff right there. So that is kind of a cool way. And that's a really great way to build your Instagram, build that kind of thing, while also paying tribute to people who are putting out great content. Because if you don't feel like you've got great content all the time, don't feel like you have to make it up. Like, don't feel like you have to copy somebody's recipes and pretty photos. You can share them to your account using repost. You just need to make sure that you're giving that author credit. You're not trying to take their work and claim it as your own. So like, for example, the one I did today, that is not my photo. Those are my words. That is my recipe, but I actually used her post and her recipe and like made my own recipe. So I typed the entire thing, and then at the bottom it says photo credit by, at, I think it was like Jess Wandering or something like that, whatever her name is. So again, I'm giving her credit. I'm not taking her work. I'm using a better quality photo than something I would have taken. I'm saving time, and we're social sharing. So it's a really great way to build your account that way too. Because again, you're going to get, and especially if you shared it to your story and then tagged her and was like, thanks so much at Jess Wandering, for this amazing recipe. Then a lot of times they will reshare that, and now their viewers are seeing your post. So that's kind of a cool, again, cross networking kind of thing. The only thing I would advise you guys not doing is don't do that for other coaches, because then you're sending them to the other coach too, and you don't really want to do that. So within our network, it's probably fine, but like, I wouldn't probably do that outside of our network. Like, I'm not going to go and reshare Aaron Hopkins' post, because I don't want my followers going and being like, ooh, what's Aaron Hopkins up to today? That's not helpful. So what other questions, guys? We have a few more minutes. Oh, you know what it was? We were talking, Amanda and I were talking about podcasts today. A lot of people don't know that Apple has a podcast channel on their phone. A lot of times people delete it when they get their phone. If they're like, oh, I don't listen to podcasts, I'll save space, but it's a free podcast one. There's other ones you have to pay for, but the Apple one is free. So, and also Spotify, you can play podcasts on Spotify as well, and even on the free one on that. So that's a good way to get in personal development while you're driving around or doing dishes or folding laundry. Just pop in a headphone and listen to podcast that's teaching you something that's focused on growth mindset, or, again, I use Audible to listen to my books. I rarely have time to sit down and like actually read. So I listen to books on Audible all the time. And again, that is a business expense. So because I'm using it for professional development, I get to write off my Audible subscription. So any other questions? Don't be shy. No questions are stupid.
Hey, Danielle,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want you to go into it now because, I'm so green and all these guys are experts, but do I have a go-to for the share card and navigating my back office? Like, I'm sure in all this stuff I've gotten, there's some type of like link that takes me to all that, or do we need to kind of talk about it offline?
We can talk about it right now. And number one, I'm going to address the fact that you are not greener than anybody else on this call. Like, Kristen is not, she's not super proficient with all this stuff. I mean, every single day I see something from people that like, I'm like, really? I think about Kendria last week, right? Like, there was something that I did on Instagram. She was like, oh my gosh, how'd you do that? Nobody knows anything until they know anything. So would you
But I really don't want you to bore these guys with it. Seriously.
I don't think it would be boring. Kristen's about to unmute herself. I can see it.
Maybe. I want to know.
Yes. See, you are not the only one. So ask the questions, you guys. Would you most frequently use the back office on your phone or on your computer? Because I'll show that one first.
Well, what's more efficient? Because I'd probably use my computer, my laptop, but I mean, I guess if I'm on the run, I'd be using my phone, but.
Okay, I'll show both, but I'll start with the computer since I personally am a computer girl over a phone girl. I have sent a share cart from the middle of the ocean on my paddleboard. Okay, so like all things can be done, but if I had my way, I would only send share carts from my computer just because they're easier. But here, we'll share.
Okay, so this is my first dumb question. Is it share cart or
Share
share
a cart?
Share a cart. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So to do it I'm not going to say the long way, but to do it from the beginning to where it is, you're going to go to teambeachbody.com. And then you are going to, like when I screen share, it goes super slow. So you go to Coach Tools and you can click straight on share cart. And you can also bookmark this if you want to on your, I don't know how your computer bookmarks things, but you can always click bookmark, and that way you don't have to do it long ways. I just think it's just as easy to do it this way. You would type in your normal stuff, so your login and password.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a Mac computer.
Yes.
Is there a setting on Mac that saves your username and password, or is that a setting on the website? Because I have to type mine in every time and I cannot stand it.
I think it's on Chrome. So I use Google Chrome, and that would be, I would assume that's the same on PC, because like when I use Safari, I don't have passwords saved there. So I think it's a Google Chrome thing, not
I use Google Chrome too.
I wonder if you have some kind of security setting where it's blocked.
Or no, I don't. I use DuckDuckGo. It's a security. Okay, never mind. Yep.
That would be why.
Okay.
That would be why. Yeah. So I am not secure. What can I say?
I can't stand that like logs me out if I'm like don't do something for like 30 seconds and I have to log back in.
Yeah, I don't like that. So to me, I would never use, I mean, I understand the purpose of DuckDuckGo, but that would be the most inconvenient thing for me ever, and I would never use it. Okay, so now we're in share cart. You would put the person's address here. You would click preferred customer. You would click coach, and we can do a fake one. Here, we'll do dporter@gmail, because I think one time I set up Davin. Nope, just kidding. Nope, it's me. Davin Porter. Select your country, USA, select your language, English. Yes, I have permission. We'll just do it as coach. I mean, I'm not going to actually walk through it. But now you go into here, you can click whatever. They have an area where you can add favorites. I'm sure, again, that there are more convenient ways to do this. I don't do that. I just do it long ways every time. Let's say we're going to do 645. I'm going to do 645. I'm going to do the Shakeology Challenge Pack. Select cookies and cream, 30 serving bag, add to cart, view cart. I can tell them, I don't ever go through this stuff for me because like I am a simplicity girl when it comes to enrolling people. In my opinion, the more options you give them, the more opportunity they have to forget to answer you. So I don't give people options. I give them 3 options, which I posted in our team page the other day, right? I gave you guys that document where you can share that to other people. Those are the 3 options I give people. I don't mess around with like, oh, and would you like to add collagen to that and beach bars? And if y'all have already talked about that, that's great. You can like screenshot them and say, hey, this stuff is on sale. Did you want to do any of it? If you want to, but just know that it also offers these things, whatever is on special right now, to them in their checkout process. So a lot of times they can like, oh gosh, yeah, I would love to try a box of bars for 25 bucks. Anyways, and then I would send email. I'll just go ahead and do it. It doesn't really matter. And then I always copy shareable link. And then if I'm, let's see here, say I'm going to send it, I'm sending it to myself. You can, I don't know if you know this, you can also text yourself and you can Facebook message yourself. Are you reading my list, Michelle, of places? This is our list that we ranked today.
Oh, for the marketplace?
Yeah, for marketplace. So like I'm like, no to Bliss, no to
I'm on my phone. My screen is super tiny.
Oh, anyways, I thought you were looking at it like you were trying to read it. So
I
anyway,
am now.
so anyways, I always copy and paste it to wherever I'm talking to them. So whether that's in a text message or whether that's in a DM or an Instagram, whatever. Also, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can also use oh, I feel like what I'm looking up. Instagram you can use from your computer as well. So you can always log on to Instagram from your computer. You can also answer messages from Instagram on your computer. So just so you know that. Some people don't know that. And then let's stop share for that. You have Safari, it saves your logins and passwords too. Yeah, I have as well, but there was something on, oh, I know why I use Google Chrome other than the passwords. I also, there's a thing called Newsfeed Eradicator. It's a, I don't know what you call that thing. Oh, it's 4 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So if you, or 10 o'clock, I don't know, whatever time it is, if you got to go, our time is up. So if you got to go, I love you. Thank you for coming on. Feel free to message me any questions or whatever. If you want to stay on, I got a few more minutes. So I'm going to show you on the phone how to get to it all as well. But anyways, Newsfeed Eradicator. So I can't scroll my Facebook newsfeed from my computer. So when I sit down at my computer to work, I'm not scrolling, which is really helpful for me because I'm a squirrel brain and I don't want to scroll. So let me show you guys from Day Computer or from my phone anyways. And again, there are shortcuts for all of this on the phone. Give me just a second. Sorry, it's waiting for the code. You can like save them to your bookmarks. You can save all kinds of things to your phone. I'm just lazy and don't, which I should because I'm lazy. That would make it even easier. But so there's a couple of things here. You can save it onto whatever it is. I wonder what that is. No, I don't want that. Just kidding. teambeachbody.com. And you go to the 3 little lines up at the top left corner. There's share a cart right there. You can click it. And it will take you straight to the cart. You can also click and access your coach office from here. There's your dashboard at the top. It is, you guys probably don't know if you haven't been doing very much on here. Also, I use Face ID because that makes my life so much easier. Whenever it decides to load up here, but you can navigate your back office from here as well. And so it has changed recently, but it is, I mean, you can still access all the stuff. So if you want to pull reports of your new customer orders, you can click that, my customer and my personal orders. So it will have, it's a little frustrating, like I said, right now, because they're still redoing it, but there's Derek's order. There's Amanda's order. There's some guy named Eric's order. Gemma's order. So anyways, there's all of my orders right there. And then as you guys grow a team, that is reports, downline, and I like sponsorship drill down just because it shows me all the information I want. But again, it shows all of that. And you can kind of scroll over and see all the information. I wish it would let you like pinch it and make it smaller, but it doesn't. But that is the back office on your phone.
So Danielle, is coach office and back office the same thing?
Yes, ma'am. I just call it back office. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. That's what I call it. All right, ladies. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I know this is a little bit different of a call than normal, but I also feel like having these types of calls every once in a while helps because sometimes people are afraid to ask questions because they think they're silly, and then they hear somebody else ask a question. And like tonight with Linda and Kristen, like, you don't know. So, and don't ever be afraid to ask if you see, and know as well, like obviously my door is open for that. But I found a lot of this stuff from other people. If I see something cute from somebody I follow on Instagram, I said, hey girl, what app did you use to make that? That's how I found Tezza. One of the girls I follow had those cute little stop motion videos. And I'm like, how do you do that? She told me the app. So don't ever be afraid to ask somebody how they did something. Or if you really, really like someone's photos, like the preset they use, if you're going to use Lightroom. I mean, I've asked people what preset they use. I'm like, hey, gosh, what preset is that on Lightroom? That's gorgeous. That way you have it. So, anything else before we go?
No, that was good. I like this one.
Yeah, good. I thought it would be helpful to have like a more hands-on, approach to things. And again, I am not the be all end all know all of this stuff. I mean, I see stuff every single day that I'm like, holy cow, how did they do that? That is so cool. Especially on Reels. Like Reels is a whole new world. And so I watch, but I will say one of the things that I like to do when I watch Reels is, and I'm starting to get them more frequently because I save them. So all algorithms, Facebook, Instagram, all of that, they show you more of what you like. So if you like photos of the beach, they're going to show you more photos of the beach. If you like things about dogs, you're going to see more things about dogs. I've started liking a lot of trainings, like Instagram Reel trainings. So like there's a couple of people online. Brock Johnson is one, which we look at all the time on our team, but there's a couple of other people I follow online that do really cool Reels trainings. And so I'll save them and I'll go back and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did she do that? And it walks you straight through how they did, whatever the reel is. So don't be afraid to learn new things and play. Then have.
And what was the name of that person you just said that you guys watch a lot or follow?
Brock Johnson, BROCK Johnson, JOHNSON. That is, if you're familiar with Shalene Johnson from like Pio, that's her son. So
okay.
Your fruit and veggie chopping prep videos are life-changing. Thank you. No rush for a dicing chopping onion. Yes. Thank you. I will do that. And if you guys have ideas, like mango. Mango's very easy. And I have one for mango, but I want to do a different one now that I have a cool overhead what are those? Not projector. What are those things called?
I got you.
Tripod. I bought it and probably get an ad for it on Instagram now, but I bought one.
I try with mangoes and like I end up just peeling it because everything says to like cut it around the center and you lose half the mango. So I just cut chunks off, but that's not pretty.
I will show you all of the techniques, all of the things. Yeah, and if you ever have suggestions, I do not enjoy being the good idea fairy. So by all means, send me ideas.
If you want a tip on cutting onions, go to the freezer section and buy them pre-chopped.
That's good.
I do, but in some things, the frozen ones are more like watery, and so like they'll add water to the whatever
Yeah.
you're cooking, and it bugs me. But no, I have bags of that stuff.
Yeah.
Of the frozen ones.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, Michelle. I am gonna do a tutorial of cutting the onion, and then you're gonna remix it with how you cut your onions and just throw your bag down.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, well, that's like I did a recipe video. I'm gonna stop the recording really quick.